Hello everyone, and welcome to IMRT Reviews. I'm RT, and today we're going to be doing a non-spoiler review of M. Night Shyamalan's new movie, Old. So, let's get straight into it. So where do I start with M. Night Shyamalan's new movie, Old? I've got a lot of thoughts on this movie, so strap yourselves in, because this film is a bit of a weird one. The film starts off with quite a lot of dialogue that makes you roll your eyes, because it's very on the nose about what the film's about. Like, yep, the film's about time, old. I'm not going to say too much, just in case you haven't watched any trailers or anything like that. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. You might want to go in blind. But it's very on the nose about what the film's about. And I did roll my eyes. And I'm going to say straight away, a lot of the dialogue in this movie doesn't feel very natural. It doesn't feel like a lot of the things people say in this movie are what normal people would say. It feels very forced, and there's a lot of dialogue in this movie that doesn't respect the audience either. They kind of spoon feed you with the messages of the movie, and they explain so much that it doesn't let us figure it out on our own. And I don't like that. I like it when a film respects the audience and doesn't spoon feed us all the information at all times, and just goes, look, this is what we're doing, I'm going to take you along here, instead of us just working it out for ourselves, or, letting the imagery on screen tell the story instead of, people having to tell us every single second. Just to give an example of some of the dialogue in this movie, don't worry, it's not a spoiler, but someone says, don't worry, I'm part of the swim club, I will make it. And he delivers it exactly like that, like a robot. It doesn't feel very natural, and I'm not going to say anything bad about the actor. I think he's, delivering it how M. Night would have wanted him to deliver it. It's more of the dialogue is just not very good. And it's just not something that a normal person would say. He doesn't even deliver it in like a comedic way. I think if you'd done a comedic spin on that, like, don't worry, man, you used to be part of the swim club, I'll make it. Or, don't worry, you used to be a part of the swim club, man, I think I'll make it. But, don't worry, I used to be part of the swim club, I'll make it. It was very weird. It was very weird to me. And there's a lot of dialogue like that throughout the movie. The dialogue is just a continuous theme for M. Night Shyamalan movies where it doesn't always feel natural, but that doesn't give him a pass for it not feeling natural, Just because it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie trait doesn't mean it gets a free pass. You still have to point out that the dialogue wasn't superb in this movie. The film sets up quite a bit of family drama with our main family in this movie, but it doesn't do it in a very interesting way. It doesn't do it in a way that makes us care about it either. It's very soldiers sit around the fire, discuss each other's problems kind of way, like, oh, okay, they have family drama. Cool. Move on. And then we'll just go back to it, to add some drama and backstory to the characters, but just doesn't do it in a very interesting way. It's in a very cliche way, and like I said, they do it in a way that doesn't make me care about the characters on screen. And when you have an interesting concept such as this film, you have to make us care about these things, otherwise we just get bored when the interesting stuff isn't going on. And because they didn't really make us care about these characters and their drama and everything going on, I was kind of bored when we weren't watching the interesting stuff that was actually unfolding. Now, when I say a lot happens in this film, a lot does happen, but it's a lot of the same stuff. It's a lot of these people trying to work out what is going on this island, and it takes such a long time that it just feels like a series of events. Just the same thing over and over. Oh, look, this is happening, all explaining what is going on, but the characters aren't really working it out at the same pace we are, so we're already ahead of them. And it just makes the whole movie drag quite a bit because they're just so far behind on what is actually happening, and we know so much more than they do. It just makes all these other bits drag a lot. And all these different series of events feel like a massive mismatch of movie genres. And that brings me on to my next point, which is the tone of this movie isn't very consistent. I think if they had just lent into one specific genre a lot more, it would have felt a lot more smooth and streamlined, and I think it was crying out to be a horror movie. A psychological horror movie with the elements that are already in the movie that were more horror focused were quite scary and disgusting. And I think if they'd gone for that fully, got rid of the weird comedy aspects and the weird family drama, this movie would have been a lot better. The film feels like it goes on for about 15 minutes too long as well. I think it's a big problem for M. Night Shyamalan. He just doesn't know how to end the movie, and he always dedicates about 15 minutes at the end of the movie to tell everyone about his big reveal, with a character giving us a big exposition dump instead of just leaving the audience with some questions. I think if he had done it a little bit more subtly, the movie could have worked a lot more. And if we had left thinking, oh, what does this mean? And, oh, did they actually do that? It would have worked a lot better instead of just being told everything. So we already know everything and we think about the movie a lot less. And as soon as I left, I was like, oh, I don't want to look up an analysis video of this because I already know everything. I'd much rather have a movie that makes me think and I don't get told everything, and it's a lot more subtle with its message. Now, what holds this movie together are the performances. If the performances weren't so good, this movie wouldn't have worked at all, but they really sold everything that was going on this island and made the movie interesting. I was only aboard a couple of times, that's when the family drama was going on, but apart from that, I was pretty interested in what was going on the entire time. And the concept of this movie was very interesting. It's just the execution wasn't quite there to really make this concept into a really great movie. And it really had the potential to be something special. Just the execution wasn't quite there. And we kind of got a mismatched movie that just didn't quite know what it wanted to be. But I do have to give credit to M. Night Shyamalan. I really do like him as a director. I think he makes very interesting movies. Very much like Marmite, you either love them or you hate them, and even when they aren't as good as, say, his best movies like Glass and Split, they're my favourites personally, they always make you want to talk about movies. I mean, I was sat in the car with my friend, I was talking about it for a while, there's lots of things that I wanted to analyse, as in like the production and how the movie was made, the structure of it. It makes me want to talk about movies, and I really like that. So credit to M. Night Shyamalan, even when the films aren't as good, they still make me want to talk about movies, and that is why I'm a big M. Night Shyamalan fan. Overall, I think I need to revisit this film in like 2 years, because I feel like it has the potential to grow on you. It has the potential, I'm not saying it will, so I definitely will be revisiting it in the future, and seeing if I like it anymore, and if I do, maybe I'll review it again on the channel, who knows. If you're an M. Night Shyamalan fan, like myself, I would recommend going to see the movie. If you're just going to the movies to have a good time, I wouldn't give my recommendation to see this one. Say save your money. James Gunn's Suicide Squad's coming out next week. It looks like a great time. So, if you have enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. Let me know down in the comments below if you're going to be checking this one out and what your favourite M. Night Shyamalan movie is. And if you did enjoy this video and want to see more, we've got the Suicide Squad review coming out next week as soon as I've seen it. We've got a couple other reviews, I'm not 100% sure what. Maybe a Fast 9, I'm seeing it tomorrow if I want to talk about it, who knows. If you did enjoy this content, please subscribe and I will see you next time.